Kofi Ansah, a wealthy and influential businessman, sat in his dimly lit study, surrounded by the memories of his success. Despite his accomplishments, Kofi couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. He wondered if his family's love and loyalty were genuine or just a facade. One evening, Kofi decided to take a bold step to uncover the truth. He would pretend to be sick and blind, observing how his family would treat him and what would become of his companies in his supposed absence. Before putting his plan into action, Kofi consulted with his trusted lawyer, Mr. Owusu, and his longtime friend and medical doctor, Dr. Mensah. With their help, Kofi's plan was set into motion. 3 weeks later, Kofi called his wife, Akua, and told her he wasn't feeling well and couldn't drive. Akua hurriedly left the house and drove to where Kofi was waiting. She found him slumped in the driver's seat, looking pale and disoriented. As the days passed, Kofi's condition seemed to worsen. He claimed he couldn't see and felt extremely weak. The news of his sudden illness quickly spread among his children: Kakra, the 35-year-old elder son; Oma, the 30-year-old second daughter; Akwasi, the 27-year-old third son; and Adua, the 23-year-old youngest daughter. The family doctor arrived at the Ansah residence to examine Kofi thoroughly. After taking blood samples and conducting a series of tests, he returned a week later with a grave report. Kofi was suffering from a debilitating illness, and his family was initially diligent in their care for him. However, as months passed, the strain began to show. The novelty of the situation wore off, and their dedication waned. Kofi's family grew weary, leaving most of the caregiving duties to the house staff. Kofi's condition demanded constant attention, and as time went on, his family grew increasingly distant. Akua, Kofi's wife, called for a board meeting to discuss the situation. She informed the board members of Kofi's deteriorating health and her decision to take over the company's operations with Kakra as her right hand. Despite their lack of experience, Akua and Kakra assumed control of the company, ignoring the advice of seasoned executives and industry experts. This decision led to a series of missteps and poor decisions that began to erode the company's stability. Kofi's condition worsened as his wife and elder son continued to neglect him and poorly manage the company. Adua, Kofi's youngest daughter, was deeply troubled by the situation. One evening, she confronted her mother about the neglect Kofi was enduring. Akua dismissed Adua's concerns, saying Kofi's condition was terminal and that it would be a waste of money to send him abroad for treatment. As the company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy, the Ansah family convened a meeting to discuss the dire situation. The mood was tense, with frustration and blame hanging in the air. Akua suggested selling one of their family houses to inject some cash into the business, but the proposal was met with resistance from Kakra and Oma. The argument quickly escalated, with Kakra and Oma exchanging blows. Adua, witnessing the fight, could no longer contain her frustration and anger. She pleaded with her family to stop fighting and focus on what truly mattered: Kofi's health and well-being. Despite the family's initial attempt at unity and rebuilding, deeper issues continued to surface. Akwasi, the third son, showed no interest in the family affairs or the business. He was more focused on securing his share of the inheritance to start his own business. As the company struggled and internal family conflict intensified, Akua made a desperate decision. She sold one of the family houses, hoping to inject much-needed capital into the business. Half of the proceeds went into the company, while she kept the rest as a personal safety net. The sale of the family house only added fuel to the fire. Kakra felt betrayed by his mother's unilateral decision and erupted in anger. Adua, distressed by the constant fighting, tried to intervene, but her words fell on deaf ears. One evening, Akua returned home after a long day at the office and was hit by an unpleasant smell. She found Kofi had soiled himself and lashed out in anger. Kofi, feeling abandoned and betrayed, cried softly, overwhelmed by the pain and disbelief. As the days passed, Kofi's extended family in the village heard about his deteriorating health and decided to visit him. However, they were met with a harsh reception by Akua, who turned them away at the gate. Adwoa, determined to make a difference, visited Kofi and shared the news about his extended family's attempted visit. She pleaded with him to get better, but Kofi's condition seemed to worsen by the day. As the family's internal conflicts escalated, Kofi's business began to crumble. The once thriving company was now on the verge of bankruptcy. Akua and Kakra's mismanagement had led to a series of poor decisions, causing the company's stock to plummet. Oma, who had been quiet throughout the ordeal, finally spoke up. She confronted Akua and Kakra about their reckless decisions, but they dismissed her concerns. The argument ended with Oma storming out of the room, feeling frustrated and helpless. Adwoa, sensing an opportunity to make a change, approached Oma. She suggested they work together to save the company and their father's legacy. Oma agreed, and they began secretly gathering evidence of Akua and Kakra's mismanagement. Meanwhile, Akua's relationship with her lover, Quincy, continued to blossom. She spent more and more time with him, neglecting her duties as a wife and mother. Kofi, sensing his wife's absence, felt a deep sadness. He realized he had lost not only his family's love but also their respect. As the days turned into weeks, Kofi's condition continued to deteriorate. His family's neglect and betrayal had taken a toll on his physical and mental health. Adwoa and Oma worked tirelessly to expose Akua and Kakra's wrongdoings, but it seemed like an uphill battle. One evening, Adwoa received a surprise visit from her father's extended family. They had traveled from the village to check on Kofi's condition and offer their support. Adwoa, grateful for their love and concern, shared her struggles with them. Together, they hatched a plan to bring the family together and save Kofi's legacy. They would organize a family meeting, inviting everyone to discuss the future of the company and Kofi's well-being. The day of the meeting arrived, and the Ansah family gathered in the living room. Adwoa and Oma presented their evidence, exposing Akua and Kakra's mismanagement. The room fell silent, with all eyes on Akua and Kakra. Akua, realizing the gravity of the situation, tried to defend herself. But it was too late. The family had seen the truth, and they would no longer tolerate her reckless behavior. In the end, the Ansah family came together to save Kofi's legacy. They ousted Akua and Kakra from the company and began the process of rebuilding. Kofi, though still weak, felt a sense of hope. He knew his family had finally come together to support him and his business. As the family worked towards a brighter future, Kofi's health began to improve. He realized that his plan to test his family's loyalty had worked, but not in the way he had expected. Instead of revealing their love and devotion, it had exposed their true characters. Kofi emerged from his ordeal a wiser and more compassionate man. He had learned the value of forgiveness and the importance of family unity. Though his journey had been difficult, he knew that he had been given a second chance to make things right. The Ansah family's story serves as a reminder that true love and loyalty are tested in times of adversity. It is in those moments that we discover our greatest strengths and weaknesses. As the family worked towards a brighter future, Kofi's health continued to improve. He began to take a more active role in the company, guiding his children with wisdom and experience. Adwoa, who had been instrumental in exposing Akua and Kakra's mismanagement, was appointed as the new CEO. She worked tirelessly to restore the company's reputation and rebuild its finances. Oma, who had found her voice during the ordeal, became the company's CFO. She worked closely with Adwa to ensure the company's financial stability. Akwasi, who had been quiet throughout the ordeal, finally found his place in the company. He became the head of marketing, using his creativity to promote the company's products. Kakra, who had learned from his mistakes, became the head of operations. He worked to streamline the company's processes, ensuring efficiency and productivity. Akua, who had lost everything, was left alone to ponder her actions. She realized too late that her greed and ambition had cost her the love and respect of her family. Quincy, who had been Akua's lover, disappeared from the scene, leaving Akua to face the consequences of her actions. As the Ansah family worked together to rebuild their business, they also worked to rebuild their relationships. They learned to forgive and trust each other, becoming stronger and more united than ever before. Kofi, who had been the catalyst for the change, looked on with pride. He knew that his family had been through a difficult time, but he also knew that they had emerged stronger and wiser. The Ansah family story serves as a reminder that family is not just about blood ties, but about the love and loyalty that binds us together. It is a story of redemption, forgiveness, and the power of family unity. Epilogue. The Ansah family's business flourished under Adwa's leadership. They became a model for family businesses, showing that with love, loyalty, and hard work, anything is possible. Kofi's health continued to improve, and he lived to see his family thrive. He knew that his legacy was in good hands, and that his family would always be there to support each other. The Ansah family story is a testament to the power of love and family. It shows that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for redemption and forgiveness. Years went by, and the Ansah family's business continued to thrive. They expanded their operations, created new jobs, and became a pillar of the community. Kofi's health continued to improve, and he became a respected elder statesman, sought after for his wisdom and guidance. Adwa, Oma, Akwasi, and Kakra worked together, using their unique skills to drive the business forward. They became a symbol of what could be achieved when family worked together towards a common goal. As the family's success grew, so did their influence. They began to receive attention from the media, and their story was told and retold, inspiring countless others. And so, the Ansah family's journey came full circle. From a place of darkness and despair, they had emerged into the light, stronger and more united than ever before. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories of family, love, and redemption. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Follow us on social media to join the conversation and share your own stories of hope and resilience. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
you.